there's the Nunu band.
Yeah,
all right.
So they will be trying to first pick that Lee Sin almost certainly, unless there is a better option on the table. They're not going to probably be too worried about Bang's Lucian here. And there's the Lee Sin band. I think that was the obvious choice. So Caitlyn taken away.
I was wondering about that. Piglet is a pretty notable Caitlyn player.
That's right. I mean, for most of Champions Summer, he was exclusively playing Caitlyn at Vayne.
Yeah. That Piglet Mondu had that great Caitlyn Nami combo that really dominated a lot of the summer season. And Nami may have kind of gone by the wayside a bit, but Caitlyn's still going strong for now. And are we going to see that Lucian pickup for SK Telecom S?
I mean, Bang's Lucian in the last game was pretty underwhelming. I'd like to see him actually pick up Ezreal right here instead. We know that he's long been a comfort Ezreal player, and he was just not the most ideal game from him. And they force Horo onto Aatrox one more time.
Yeah, is he actually going to lock it in? We'll see. I'm wondering. And they do. All right. So Lulu, Aatrox, the two pickups for S.
So same combination. They are looking to pick up that early synergy.
Yep. They believe in it.
They certainly do. And the response here from our world champions, SK Telecom K. So there are obviously a lot of options still on the board, but typically they've gone for fast rotations with Caitlyn in the past. So we may be. I mean, they banned the Sona though, so they don't have the world's best synergy. They could just take Shyvana Orianna right here.
World's best synergy. That is something everybody's looking for. Who are we? I would love to see. No, Cloud Templar's not casting today, man. There's no need to troll. Mid 80 Maokai, brought to you by Faker. Let's make it happen. And I was wondering if they're going to switch over to Vi. Yeah, Bengi, definitely a notable Vi player. And there it is. Yeah, Vi, Shyvana.
So they've got the makings of some pretty strong pick right here. They may have been trying to take the Shyvana away just because they were worried about the possibility of Lulu, Orianna, and Shyvana all ending up on SKTS, which is a pretty substantial wombo combo that you don't want to give your enemies access to.
Oh, yeah.
So Annie probably going to be the pickup here in the end, from K in terms of support.
It seems likely, doesn't it?
Just to set up their picks a little bit more, it could be Annie Zed. Would be my prediction. They're going to want to go for an assassin to complement Vi right here.
SK Telecom T1S has some pretty big choices to make. They may go with that Lucian again. And Kennen this time, an interesting alternative to Rumble. And they may just grab that Vayne away too. Bang.
So they get the Kennen to deal with the Shyvana engage.
Yep.
But the odds are that we're just going to see SK Telecom go for a pick composition right here.
There it is. Well, Annie locked in. We saw the Zed for just a moment. What's it going to be? Is it going to be, I was going to say, you could always go Blitzcrank and then throw Annie mid. I'd love to see Faker play Annie. He may just want to go Orianna again. He missed a couple shockwaves last time. Needs to redeem himself. And there's a LeBlanc. Oh, he's going to go with Shyvana. Or not Shyvana. Orianna, though.
That's an interesting pickup because of the Kennen grab here. And also, they just don't have the same pick potential with an Orianna. And so, when you have the Lulu, you have the Kennen, it's probably easier for them just to avoid that AoE CC rather than trying to counter it with more AoE CC themselves. But they're confident that they can get that Orianna-Shyvana combo off again. And their team composition, I mean, generally looking similar to last time. Long-range AD carry combined with Shyvana, Orianna, and...
Yep. And will we see that Gragas as the final pickup for SK Telecom S?
I mean, this is a little weird. Kennen and Gragas together always ends up kind of strange, especially considering you have Lulu as well. Because the problem with the synergy in this composition is that Vayne Gragas is strong. You can break it up into duels. You can use that Blade of the Ruin King very effectively. But in this case, you want to wait a while in order to engage. You have your primary engage with Aatrox, followed by Wild Growth. Kennen will follow up with the secondary engage. But you have to wait a long time for Vayne to be able to find an isolated target in this instance. And so you're going to have to go through these 3 steps before you throw Explosive Cask, and Vayne is probably going to get a lot of auto attacks off because it's just too dangerous for Vayne to go in when everybody's clumped up like that. So I don't really like SK Telecom team composition here, but we'll have to see if they can play it out.
Yeah, we'll see. I feel like Bang's Condemns are going to need to be exceptionally good in team fights for them to really come away with a win on this one as well. We'll see, though. And SK Telecom, I mean, the thing is for S is that they are kind of living under the shadow of their sister team right now. So a win here would be a big deal for these guys. Let's see if they can do it. Can they tie up the series 1-1? The game is loading. It's time. Let's get in the game. I guess I could have talked a little bit more, but I wanted to build the drama, Monte Cristo. All right, Group A, Set 2, SK Telecom K versus SK Telecom S. And Faker versus EasyHoon. You can bet that Faker is going to be looking for a little bit of revenge here after that first blood that EasyHoon managed to get against him. Shyvana's got to be careful, man. She's going to like poke herself in the eye with her elbows. That's dangerous. That's just irresponsible.
It does seem rather counterintuitive to wear such large spikes pointing towards yourself in combat.
You know, I saw a great educational film about the dangers of dancing once. I think it was called Footloose.
That's right. You too can check that out.
That's right. In the end, the kids learned that you just don't dance. That's right. I think that's how it ended.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. It was the exact opposite message of the safety dance.
Exactly. They're like, you can't dance, even if you want to. Or you're grounded, and then your friends are going to just get left behind.
Okay, well, nothing too wild in terms of our level 1s. A bit of an interesting placement of Caitlyn in the lane, and bottom brush already. Let's see what the little plan is.
Stop it. That's just scary to watch. I don't know. I've got a phobia about like things getting poked in my eyes. That's why I haven't done LASIK yet.
I know.
It's hard to watch Shyvana dance.
It is a fear of yours. That
Monty knows, man. I'm terrified of that.
I do know. Okay, well, nothing too crazy like SK Telecom case taking both blue buffs this game. That was a bit exciting last time around.
Yep.
Good level 1 by them in order to get a bit of an edge right off the bat. And Faker, once again, starting with that Ignite in this matchup.
Yeah.
Confident in his ability not to get all in here.
It's very Faker of him.
It is so Faker.
That's so Faker. And manages to dodge a couple barrels. I mean, really, this is just a matchup of who can be better at throwing their round object at the other person.
Right, that's what a lot of League of Legends mid lane is post-World. Syndra, Gragas, Orianna.
That's a good point.
Everybody just tossing around round things at each other.
I'm still waiting for Dodgeball Orianna. We need that skin. And it makes like the dodgeball sound. You know the sound it makes when you like hit your friend in the face with a dodgeball? We need that sound in League of Legends.
That would be a fantastic sound effect.
I'm sure we always remember it. We all remember that sound fondly.
I certainly do.
Me too.
Okay, well, Horo coming over the Baron pit wall right here. He is going to get spotted out. Oh, not quite, looks like, by the wards. Instead manages to sneak over for a bit of a wolf steal right here. I'm not the player, the jungle camp.
He's just going to go right in the booth and take him out. Bang's like, all right, we're going all in. He looks and like no one's in the chair. Where'd he go? He's got a little trap door that activates, I guess.
Well, Martin doing a good job harassing Impact here early, keeping him close to his tower. Difficult for him to farm Impact with the door and shield start, just looking for that sustain. And there is a sad Bengi noticing that his wolves have indeed been stolen. Horo waiting in the wings. Faker not overextending at all right now. It's a little bit surprising that, you know, we haven't seen Horo appear yet in lane, so Faker is playing extremely cautiously.
Yeah, but Horo, he he is actually not in a bad spot right now. We'll see.
Faker's not
Faker's
not in any danger right now. He's all right. But that was good sense by Faker right there to avoid the jungler who hadn't yet really had any kind of presence in the lane, and especially because he went over the Baron pit wall right there too and managed to walk in between the two wards and river. It's a nice little mind game coming out of Horo that caused Faker to pull back just a little bit right there.
Well, it shows strong communication skills on that team too. You know, everybody letting everybody else know where the jungler is or is not, where he was seen last. And if you put all that non-information together, you get a picture of where he might be.
Okay, well, all is quiet so far. I mean, not even much action in the lanes, really.
Yeah.
Everybody just playing this as measured as they can. I mean, this is what it can look like when two very good teams go against each other. You know, they have a good sense of where the opposing jungler is going to be. They have good level 1 wards. You know, we can see Horo putting in a deep ward right there so they can just keep track of Bengi. And Faker pushing far forward again, but he's just skirting the edge of the wave as far back as possible. There's the ping going down right now from Faker as he sees Horo coming in.
Exactly where he is. Faker in fine shape, and he's going to put a little bit of pressure on this mid lane now. Easy Hoon a bit down in CS already, in fact. Oh, nice little combo there with the command attack and dissonance to take a big chunk out of Easy Hoon. Meanwhile, not a lot going on in the top lane.
Just a growing farm edge for Marin, though.
Yeah, oh wow.
Not a lot that Impact's been able to do to counteract the ranged harass coming out of Kennen.
Yep. In the bot lane, actually a pretty big CS lead for Piglet, too. They've been able to keep Bang pushed up against turret pretty much all game.
Yeah, I mean, the Caitlyn Vayne matchup is pretty heavily in favor of Caitlyn. There's just nothing you can really do to avoid eating a ton of damage from Peacemakers and autos given the range. And so it's very difficult, of course. You don't have any wave clear really either. So with Peacemakers, Piglet able to shove that very
here comes Bengi coming in. The ultimate activated onto Marin. Marin in big trouble. Horo is right there, gets the knockup, and Marin with that ultimate isn't quite able to keep himself alive, and Horo in trouble too. There's a passive popped, and can he escape? A lot of health regen, but it's not enough. A double kill for Bengi and SK Telecom in that top lane.
Well, I mean, that just shows a little bit. Now, Horo was late to the party, that's sure, and there's a pause right there. That may have actually had something to do with why Horo was a little bit delayed.
It certainly could have been.
Marin
we'll see what's
backing out of the game right now. Looks like an issue with his machine.
Yeah. Wow. Bengi punched him so hard, he punched him right out of Summoner's Rift. That is pretty impressive, but that's Bengi's Vi play for you, I guess. He did the ultimate, just body slammed him like right through the ground. He's on like Twisted Tree Line somewhere now.
That'd be fantastic.
Have to get him back.
Be like breaking through the levels in those old fighting games.
Dude, like the old Mortal Kombat games, that would be, they need to add that to League of Legends, you know? When Blitzcrank like uppercuts you, you like pop up and suddenly you're in like somebody's ARAM game. And
you're in Magma Chamber.
That's your Magma Chamber, exactly. That'd be great. You know, there was that one, what season was that? Spring season? We had that Elise that she went up and never came back down. Yeah. She's up there somewhere.
Yeah, she is.
We don't know where.
Chamber.
That's right. Maybe Magma Chamber. Maybe a totally different game. We just don't know. Sometimes Elises just don't come back down when they repel. It's true.
Especially when they get hit by Ignite.
Yeah. Sometimes champions end up in strange places in League of Legends.
Oh, I love League of Legends. Bugs.
Me too.
They're the funniest.
They are great. They make some of the best YouTube videos. It's true. Well, that is a great driver's license picture. He was very dressed up for his driver's license test that day, I guess. Well, I like his uniform right now better. Oh, yeah. All right, we're back in the game, guys. Let's do this.
So heavy Doran's Blade investment coming in from Marin this time around.
Yeah.
It's not that often that you see a Kennen player going for 2 Doran's Blades at the start of the game, but he's really committed to continuing to bully Impact up here. And I think this is probably a reaction to how little farm some of these players had in the last game. They know that they got that early deficit due to, not really being able to hang in lane, and they're making adjustments right now.
Yeah, they're keeping up a bit better. Still a bit down on gold, but it's not as
well with those two
scary,
kills.
though.
That's going to be the big difference, right?
Well,
and
yeah.
you know, Bengi will have some good change to spend when he goes back. But yeah, the CS in the bottom really starting to show right here.
It certainly is.
And they did make a decision to pick the Vayne into the Caitlyn. So they knew this was a real possibility of having this lane matchup, and they didn't get deep wards in either, so they couldn't really 2v1 this very effectively, which may have been a better strategy early on here for SKTS.
Well, SKTS really wants to get some kills in some team fights and some skirmishes later, and we'll see if their plan paid off. Marin already taking a lot of damage from Impact. It's going to be really tough for him to kind of stand toe-to-toe with Impact, especially when he's in his ult, I guess.
Right, but
overall,
he did force the ult to be popped right there.
Yeah.
And Impact did go back and get, you know, some magic resist in terms of that spectral cowl, so he's got a little more durability, but the turret nearly dead in this bot lane.
Yeah.
Mandu and Piglet playing it cautiously, going back, laying a couple more traps right there.
Now, Mandu and Piglet don't really have any wards covering River at the moment, but don't know if... Okay, there is a ping down there. Yes,
well, they need to wait till Horo shows before they really play this too aggressively again.
Yeah. That's the thing. They really don't know where he's at the moment.
Horo trying to get a read on this.
Thinking about it, he's really hesitant to come through the river. Ooh, but somebody else coming through the river is Bengi. They're going to jump onto Marin again, trying to catch him. Marin pops his ultimate, tries to get those stuns down. He's getting away with the lightning rush, but there's the ult to lock him down, and Impact. Can they do the damage to finish him off? It certainly looks like they can. And again, SK Telecom, Marin gets caught in the top lane. Meanwhile, Horo may have something good going in the bot lane. Piglet flashes out of the dark flight, still gets slowed by the Q. Mandu trying to stun from behind. Wild Growth onto Horo. Piglet pops that barrier. Easyun coming in to clean things up. They do manage to get the kill onto Piglet, and it looks like it will be double. Horo does go down, though.
Yeah, Horo dies right there, so it is some consolation for Piglet. But look at this, Bengi coming right into the mid lane.
Yeah.
Baker and Bengi putting on the turret pressure. Easyhoon deciding not to stay bottom, instead coming back to deal with this turret. But ultimately here, I mean, yeah, they got the double kill in the bottom lane. They traded 1 for 2.
Oh, knocks both of them under the turret. A huge play for Easyhoon. He nearly picked up a kill onto Bengi. Wow, that was almost a really big play right there.
Yeah, the problem if you're SKTS right now is that Piglet and Mandu are going to come back into lane. That turret is just barely alive in the bottom lane. Now you just took a bunch of damage onto your mid lane turret as well. So right now we have a huge potential gold swing in favor of SKTK that's just sitting there while virtually no damage onto the objective so far from for SKTK rather.
Yeah.
So it's... that may not exactly have been worth it, that the mid-roam from Easyhoon. That may hurt them quite a bit in terms of creating a snowball in this game, just because he didn't actually need to be there in order to secure the kills. Now, he did get one, but the cleanup would have happened without him more than likely.
Yeah.
And instead, they're dealing with defending now a very low tower in that mid lane.
Well, we'll see how long they can get it to last. Bengi just clearing out that wave. And a little bit of a lull in the action as SK Telecom's both of them kind of regroup a little bit. And like you said, there's really no reason right now for SK Telecom K to be hyper aggressive. They know that the first little chance they get in any of these lanes, they'll be able to get the turrets and get all 3 of them in succession. Looks like top lane going down first. We'll see.
And, well, I mean, this is a huge gold swing.
It's going to be all at the same time, isn't it? Easyhoon gets caught. There's the ultimate from Vi coming in. Shockwave, Tibbers, everything used. Dark Flight gets the double knock up. The turret does go down, and Horo on the run. Here comes Impact trapping him, and Horo, his passive pop, made a big mistake coming in onto that one. Just gets killed. Both the top and the mid go down, and 2 kills. This lead for SK Telecom K is already getting a little bit scary.
Well, and because we saw the camping from Bengi up in top lane, so if we talk about Marin's build right here, I mean, he went for the Seeker's Arm Guard. He's going not for that split-pushing Kennen with haunting guys first, but rather for the team fight. You know, he wants to get in there. He wants to fix it up and get that Zhonya's Hourglass, but I mean, he's so far behind, and because he got the second Doran's Blade, he's just not dealing any kind of AP. He's virtually no threat right now.
Yeah.
You know, he made the decision to be a lane bully, and now when it comes to team fighting, he's not going to do
there's
much.
Marin. Marin's pops the ultimate, does trap Faker here. They do send Bengi through, gets knocked up by the Wild Growth. Mandu comes in to try to disrupt things a bit. Here comes Bang, gets the kill onto Faker. Easy and actually picking up the killing blow for that one. Bengi a little bit off, and Marin manages to take down Mandu. So, wow, a little bit of a shift there, but Dragon probably going to be taken by SK Telecom S, so doing their best to keep up.
No, they are, and it was an overextension right there into the jungle by K. Clearly losing a couple kills, and right there Piglet able to shove the wave, but too afraid of the rotation afterwards in order to actually take that bottom tower. So, you know, K playing it a little bit too fast and loose right there. Now they still have a substantial advantage due to the 2 turrets and the 2 kills they managed to get in that mid lane. And they'll get even more of an edge when this bottom tower finally gets knocked over.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful because you don't want to give your opponents a window to get back into the game.
Well, SK Telecom K does not have a lot of weaknesses, but I feel like every once in a while getting a little bit overeager, a little bit overconfident, it does strike these guys. You know, we saw it in the early rounds of groups at Worlds where you kind of saw it a little bit in that one decision from the team. So they do have that little flaw that crops up every once in a while.
Well, I'm sure they were quite confident after their methodical, meticulous play in the first game as well.
I'd imagine. Mandu, there's the stun on the Bang. He's not going anywhere. Oh, or is he? Bang actually just barely escapes. Can he make it all the way, though? Bengi gets condemned back, and I don't know. Wolf has a flash. There we go. Bengi manages to catch Bang, but the barrier is keeping him alive. They're going to get Wolf, though, at least. Bengi picks that one up.
Yep.
What an escape, though. Oh, wow. Explosive cast comes in. Mandu taking a lot of damage. Easyhoon could pick this one up, but the stun from Annie preventing that one. There's a flash body slam, though. And Easyhoon wins that little duel. Marin taking a lot of damage in the top lane. Action all over the map. The flash gotten out of him. And Impact helps Faker pick up that kill. Man, there's just action all over the place.
Yeah, but K right there, they were the one who ended up with the turret as well. So forcing them back, they also forced the recall from Bang, who narrowly escaped with his life, but even more damage going on to a tier 2 turret up here in the top lane as Impact starts autoing. You know,
that steamroller, man. It's still rolling.
It's just that SK Telecom has done such a better job of getting damage onto the towers in the laning phase. You know, you can really see how well they think about this game, and their decision-making process right here is they're not too concerned, I think, about the early kills that they've managed to give up right here and the fact that they pressed really hard, but their game plan coming in tonight was just so strong. Ban out Horo, make him unable to make plays, and then it's been all about Bengi and Impact synergy, you know, in the top lane this game to shut down Marin. They shut down Marin in a 2v1 the first game. This time, they just, in a way, punish him for his bully build. You know, he wants to be the one shoving the lane into turret, and Bengi just camps him as a result, allowing for the all-ins that have resulted in a couple of his deaths so far.
Yeah.
And that leaves him with a very suboptimal build for team fights as the towers start to fall.
It's a little bit too little too late now. Only a 4K gold lead, but that 4 turrets to 0 is the real painful thing for S. Faker coming in. They're going to jump onto Easy, and he does explosive cast himself, which knocks away Bengi. Nice shockwave from Faker. Can they pick up the kill? They may dive a little bit too deep for this one. Easy gets Wild Growth, and now SK Telecom S on the run as Mandu does show up. Horo in trouble yet again. They don't quite get him with the dissonance, but they do pop the passive with the damage from Bengi. Mandu coming in. They get the stun, get the kill. Mandu with the KS. I like it.
Well, and Faker, you know, a lot of the champions that are strong right now, or with Orianna, you know, Shyvana, Vi, where you can get that command protect, but we've seen just beautiful plays and synergy with Faker using the ball on these champions in order to pick up the kills.
Yeah.
That entire chase was enabled by multiple command protects that resulted in shockwaves and distance.
Yep. Whoa! Impact pops the ultimate just to push those guys off a turret. They will get that inhibitor turret.
Back
off, though.
Yeah, look how not greedy SK Telecom K is, too.
Yeah,
they're just going
they're
going to take their gains, back off, make sure the lanes are pushed, make sure they have control over their opponent's jungle, get some items before they go after a naked inhibitor.
You know, and I mean, it's so good to see, too, because across any sport, e-sport or otherwise, when a team wins a championship, it's so common to see them slump, to see them rest on their laurels a bit. And SK Telecom K has not done that at all. They look better now, I feel, than they looked in Worlds.
I mean, well, they had a chance to learn a lot from the other teams in other regions that were competing there.
Yeah, they didn't waste that opportunity.
And they are looking pretty darn solid coming into this season of champions, again, proving that they are one of, if not the team to beat in Korea.
I think they are. We'll see if some of these... I'm looking ahead to the bracket stage already, but we'll see how some of those matchups go. Marin, really tough game for him. He's finally got the Zhonya's Hourglass. But again, at 18 minutes with 5 turrets to 0 down in favor of the opposing team, it's not going to help too much.
Yeah, a little bit of interesting build here from Bang. He actually had 3 daggers there for a while in addition to his Berserker spree. He's finally turning 2 of them into Blade of the Ruined King. So going for, I think that was probably, I don't know if that was a mistake or not, but maybe delayed his blade just a little bit right there in favor of some more attack speed. It would power him up in the short term, that's for sure. Impact.
Seen that before.
Yeah, that was Horo barely making it out there, not checking the right brush, and here is a early Baron.
Yeah. Really, really smart, though, probably. I don't know. Well, SK Telecom S, do they have any idea this is going on? It really doesn't look like it. They're getting an impression now that they see everyone disappear off the map from SK Telecom K. Wolf throwing the ward over the wall. Baron getting very, very low. Is there any chance Horo would need to smite immediately? They don't steal it, and Tibbers over the wall gets the stun just to make sure they can secure that Baron.
That was a good use of the anti-ultimate right there.
Yeah.
Because the Dark Flight Smite steal, you don't want to 50-50 that Baron. And
we've seen it before.
SKTS did come in at the right time in order to attempt to steal, but Mondu will stuff that attempt. And that was a good mind game as well, because SKTS in that situation, they're thinking, oh man, we have to be worried about them just running down mid lane and taking out our naked inhibitor. That seems like the more obvious strategic choice.
Yeah.
But in this case, they weren't expecting as much that Baron, especially because Piglet wasn't even there for most of that attempt. And Piglet.
Oh, Piglet. That was pretty close, but got the ward off just in time. They still have not lost a single turret this game. Really incredible.
Their ability to control the turret pressure in both of the games tonight has been pretty darn fantastic. They just haven't even really given SKTS any room to breathe, any wins in terms of those objectives.
And yet another turret going down, 6-0 now. Nearly all of the outer base turrets, I guess you could say. Still that tier 2 left in the bot lane, but that's about it. And now the pressure comes on that inhibitor. Shockwave, Marin has to flash, and I'd say that's a nice use of the ultimate there, just to get the flash out of the way.
Certainly is. It really limits his engage potential, which is what you want right here. When you're sieging, that flash on Kennen can be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, stun on Horo to help SK Telecom K get away. And they're going to rotate down this mid lane. Can they get the inhibitor? It looks like they're pushing back S quite nicely. Marin, again, with no flash, it's going to be tough to engage with that ultimate, and they get it.
And they're going to be able to make a quick rotation here. The minion wave already surging into that top lane turret.
Yep. Impact doesn't even bother leaving the base, doesn't need to. And that inhibitor turret already in a little bit of trouble, already at half health. They need to back off because of the minion wave for a moment, but
it's just a waiting game right now. I mean, SKTK really doesn't have to go home. They have that anti-stun up. They have sufficient disengage. Shockwave.
They're going to have it real soon.
Nearly off cooldown as well. So they just sit here and wait. Impact creating a dangerous zone for the side. I guess it would get them a little bit.
He does. There's the anti-stun on 2 members there. They don't follow it up with the Shockwave. Wasn't up just yet. There's a nice 2-man Dark Flight followed by the Wild Growth. Nice knockups from S. Can they capitalize, though? They get Mondu, but that's about it. They do manage to save their turret, though.
Yeah,
not bad.
They lose Marin in the process. Marin able to just pop his ult in Zhonya's, but dies immediately as he comes back out of it. And here we go, another inhibitor seems inevitable for SKTK.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot they can do. They did have explosive capacities at the end. Easy gets body slammed. Bengi pops out of the Dark Flight. Okay, it looks like they will give the kill over the Bang, but Bang his death is not in vain as the inhibitor does go down. They get Marin once again.
Nice flash from Wolf there to block over on that ace in the hole. I mean, EasyHoon is really the person they need right now to defend these turrets.
Yeah, they lose one Nexus turret though. EasyHoon trying his best. SK Telecom K does need to back up a little bit, but it's only a matter of time now, and EasyHoon gets slowed down by that dissonance, and he's not going to survive. Another kill for Piglet. And all that defense we were just talking about, gone just like that.
Yeah, well,
K's still going to back off to play it safe, but...
Yeah, with Bengi dead, they can go ahead and now just knock down this remaining second-tier turret, safely go back, use the massive amount of gold that they've managed to gain from this push to finally and ultimately close out this game.
Yep. And they'll do it in a way that they can get a perfect amount of turrets to 0 turrets.
Well, they're still going to keep going, I guess. They're not concerned about the defensive capabilities. EasyHoon's still
not
down.
Really.
Shockwave!
Oh, nice two-man Shockwave followed by the Shyvana ultimate coming in from Impact. A kill already onto Wolf, and Horo not long to follow. Marin has to back off immediately. EasyHoon back. Bang's still around, but now that inhibitor in trouble, they're going to be able to get it. EasyHoon has his explosive cask, hasn't elected to use it just yet. And now the killing blow. It's going to be about it. The final Nexus turret going down. Another Timber stun onto EasyHoon. Gets body slammed. Marin coming in. He's back alive. He's got the ultimate. He's got the Zhonya's. But that is it. I mean, the Nexus is basically bare. There goes the final turret. 11 turrets to 0. And SK Telecom K dominates their sister team S here in our first match on Champions Winter.
You really have to hand it to K. They came in with a smart game plan. They took their knowledge, what they know about, of course, intimately their sister team,